Hello, BookTube and AuthorTube. Today is April 30th and the last day of Camp NaNoWriMo. And I failed at Camp NaNoWriMo this year, most definitely. So what happened? I thought I could do a little more world building, idea work, character work, plotting, outlining, and then I could just write the comic book script and go on my merry way, and that didn't happen. The world building, the character work, all of that took far more work than I thought it would. From trying to figure out what I wanted the city to look like, the types of businesses and locations and attractions and what have you, the characters that were going to populate the story, what the first arc was going to look like, who the villains were, refocusing the story on the protagonist rather than more of an ensemble, and then kind of realizing that I didn't have as much on the protagonist as I had hoped I would have. It just, didn't work out. And as I was figuring this out, I also came to a problem in which, obviously, even if I had written the script, it would have felt half finished, because obviously when you are writing for comics, there's the script and then there's the art. And while the script would have been finished, the art, how is that going to get finished? So then I was trying to figure out, do I want to just pretty much take a good chunk of this story that I can make into one coherent narrative and transform it into a novel? Or should I continue on, since I am enjoying coming up with more ideas for Scorpius's adventures? Do I just sort of write like a continuing, prose narrative? Oh, I didn't really know. So I'm still kind of ping-ponging between those two. I'm leaning more towards just the novel. The more I think about it, the more I don't really want to write super long series. As much as I do enjoy the depth and to some extent the complexity of the narrative, it's also I will get bored with it relatively quickly and I will want to move on. So it's better to just do a book, a single novel, maybe a long one, something, say, of the order of Lord of the Rings, maybe slightly shorter, slightly longer, and just go from there. But I don't know. So, yeah, it is disappointing, and hopefully I can go back and save a lot of the material I've generated and make it into a more interesting novel eventually. But I do also need to do some more research. That is one thing that I discovered fairly quickly and definitely has been brought home to me very recently, in that there are certain subjects that it would be irresponsible for me to include if I didn't really do the research. And that's one thing that's I'm going to have to do, which is cool. I get to learn new things. Is there anything else? Which I guess is one of my problems, my frustrations as a writer, is for me it does take a lot more effort to do the world building and the character work and all of that preparatory work. That I want to get it as good as I can before I start. So I have a good foundation, and I don't feel like I'm cheating or I'm playing fast and loose. It is, I mean, one of my pet peeves is poor world building. If you've watched any of my wrap ups and what passes for reviews, usually I will be complaining most vociferously about what I find to be really bad world building. So, yeah. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up now. I may not be doing these as frequently. I need to sort of reassess and readjust. And also, I'm expecting a phone call here in a few minutes. So I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this up now. And I should be back in a few hours with a book haul and a book tag. So until then, BookTube, thank you and have a great day and stay safe.